Stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Trish.
Mrs. Brew? Mr. Kramer?
Here.
Mr. Menegini?
Here.
Mr. Marraro?
Here.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Make a motion to excuse Mayor Brew.
Support.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald? Yes. Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of December 4th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
I move we approve the minutes of regular meeting of December 4th, 2024.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald? Yes. Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Approval of manifest number 2024-23 in the amount of $783,600.49. Ricky, do you have any questions?
No.
Brett?
Comment just that a large sum of that money is to paving roads.
530,000.
Yeah, $500,000 in that manifest is just for.
Paving roads. Let's hear it once again.
Nice.
That's it, Joe.
Thanks, Brett. Rico?
No questions.
I have none. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve manifest 2024-23 in the amount of $783,600.49.
Support.
Mrs. Steigerwald? Yes. Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes. Answer to previous manifest questions. I do believe we have any at all.
We did not.
Mr. City Manager?
did not.
Okay. Public comments. Any item of interest. Anyone in attendance wishing to address the council on an item of interest shall do so at the podium now. State your name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person. I see we have none. Public comments on agenda items. Anyone in attendance wishing to address the council on any agenda item shall do so at the podium now. State your name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes. And we have no one there either. Moving on to action items. Item 1, Downtown Development Authority member reappointment. Dan?
So we have 2 current members on the DDA that are up for reappointment, Steve Ortman and Tori Normand. And Trish, I do believe we have both of them agreeing to wish to be reappointed.
Yes.
So your motion would be to reappoint those two to the DDA.
Do I have a motion? Questions, comments, anything?
I'll make a motion that we reappoint Steve Ortman and Tori Norman to the Downtown Development Authority for a 4-year term expiring December 2028.
I support.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Moving on to item 2, Parks and Recreation Committee member reappointments. Dan?
So we have 2 again for this, John Beck and Lisa Weiss, both wishing to continue their terms on the Parks and Rec Committee. So this motion would be to approve those 2 to their extended terms.
Brett, any comments as you are the ranking member on Park and Rec?
No, I would just like to thank Jason Morgan for his time, because he put in his resignation and stuff. He's done a lot with the trail network and a lot of volunteer hours between him and his family, so just
Yep.
want to thank him for being part of that.
Yeah, and I just signed his son's Eagle Scout project because he finished a trail system for us over by the hydro facility that is being maintained, and City Attorney Carlson has rode those trails and says that they are a very nice system, and we thank Jason and his son for doing that.
Who pushed you, Grant?
Sorry?
Who pushed you on the bike?
These 2 legs.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that John Beck and Lisa Weiss be appointed to a 3-year term expiring December 2027 for the Parks and Recreation Committee.
Support.
Support.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Moving on to item 3, Planning Commission member reappointment. Dan?
So this one, we have one, Leonard Beadala. He is also one that is willing to continue to serve. We do have 2 open positions for Planning Commission. If anyone in the audience or in the community wishes to serve on the Planning Commission, please come and see us, and we'll have your appointment to be approved by the board. So we do have a motion here to approve Leonard Beadala. And I'd also like to, as Brett pointed out about Jason Morgan, Allison Kelchak has been on the Planning Commission for 9 years. Her reappointment was also up, but she has decided to step away for a while. But we do want to say we really do appreciate her years of service to the city and on the Planning Commission.
Yes, I am the council rep for Planning Commission, and I just want to thank Allison. It's been great working with her the last 5+ years. So, once again, as Dan had mentioned, we have 2 openings. Love to get some volunteers from the community to come down and fill out an application, talk to Dan a little bit, and get you involved with the Planning Commission. It's a very important commission. Pretty much everything new that happens in town starts there, so keep it in mind. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve or to reappoint Leonard Beadala to a 3-year term expiring in December 2027.
Support.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Item 4, Zoning Board of Appeals member reappointment.
So this is, we have one reappointment. This is, again, another Leonard Beadala. He is the Planning Commission rep for the ZBA. And he is willing to continue on that as well.
We also have a council rep seat that's open. Rico's
Yeah.
our alt.
And we can do that. We have the council reappointments to committees later on in the agenda we can appoint.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to reappoint Leonard Beadala to a 3-year term expiring in December 2027 and continue to advertise for the open position.
Support.
Yeah, we do have a general open position
As
seat
well,
on
yeah.
the ZBA.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes. Item 5, Jake McGinney Museum Board appointment and reappointment.
So we have 3 reappointments. Brett Kramer is also on this committee if he has any comments, but we have 3 that are willing to be reappointed and serve, and we have a motion for those individuals.
I'd just like to comment that board does a phenomenal job. They are so self-sufficient, take care of themselves, but they're always looking for volunteers to help out. Great group of people.
Yeah, I see it's full too. That's terrific.
Yep.
Excellent. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that Mary Kay Eveling, Bill Van Oler, and Doug Lindsay be reappointed to the Jake McGinney Museum Board for a 3-year term expiring in December 2027.
I support.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Moving on to item 6, Board of Tax Review member representatives.
So we have the 3 members that are up for reappointment, all willing to serve, and we do have a recommendation and motion to reappoint the 3 members.
Do I have a motion?
I make that a motion to reappoint Ron Vivio, Gerald Harder, and Allison
Kelchak.
Kalchek to the 2025 Board of Tax Review.
Support?
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Item 7, miscellaneous city, county boards and require city representation and reappointments. That requires, excuse me, city representation and reappointments.
So this is all council representatives to each of our committees, as well as my appointment to different committees around the county and elsewhere, UPPA, Central Landfill Authority. Currently, Brett Kramer is our Parks and Rec, Candy Brew is on DDA, Jeff Mararo, Planning Commission. We do have the open seat for ZBA, which Rico's our alternate, and then Ricky Staggerwald is not appointed to any of the committees, so if she's willing to serve on that, we do have that opening. Brett is also on the museum board, and then Candy Brew is on North Alert, she's on the senior center, and then I am on those other committees at the bottom. If any of the council members wish to switch which committee they want to be on, you can do so. If you'd like to keep it the way it currently is, that is also perfectly fine. I do recommend that I stay on the committees that I am on, and then if Ricky is interested, to have her serve as the council representative on the ZBA. I do have sort of two separate recommendations and motions if you want. One that is for the council members on these committees, and then one for me on the listed committees that I am on.
I'm also a regular member on the DDA.
Yep.
So, yeah, I see Brett, you're on 3. Is that too many? Are you comfortable with that? You good?
No, that's fine.
You're good? Okay. Ricky, any interest?
Yes, I'm interested in being on the zoning board.
Okay, excellent.
So what I would do is I'd have 3 motions on this. I would start maybe with appointing Councilmember Staggerwald to the ZBA, and then approving the city council members to their current committees as presented, and then approving myself to the committees as presented, if Mr. Carlson agrees with the 3.
I can do that.
I do.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a motion?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, motion,
Okay.
please.
I'll
I was
make
just
a-
looking at Grant, making sure we're good to go.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to recommend the council approve the addition of council member Ricky Steigerwald to the ZBA.
Support.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes,
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes. I would also like to recommend that the council approve the reappointment of the city council members as presented to their representative committees.
Support.
Do we want to add the city manager to that motion as well? No?
You want them separate?
Separate, okay.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
yes,
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
And finally, I would like to recommend that the council approve the reappointment of the city manager to the boards and committees as presented.
Support.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
yes.
Thank you, Rico, for that exhausting amount of motions under one thing. Moving on to item 8. Extension of real and personal property tax payment deadline. Dan?
So this is something that we've done every year since I've been here, and before that, and this is extending the winter property taxes to February 28th, 2025.
Yeah, we've done this every year. I believe it's just kind of a boilerplate thing we do, correct?
Can I ask why?
The original reason why, I'm not certain. I don't have an answer to why we've done that. Trish, do you know? You've been here.
One more week after Christmas to
Yeah.
recover.
Yeah.
Just always
Yeah.
done it.
Because that's the way we've always done it. Not
Yeah,
one of my top favorite
I
answers,
would agree with that.
although it was just more of a curiosity.
Yeah, this one, yeah.
This doesn't put us in any financial peril. I was just interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the way it's always been done. It's always been something I don't particularly
Yeah,
care
yeah,
for.
it hits the
This
ears a
one,
little.
I don't really see a concern for that,
Okay.
so if it helps people out,
10 more days to pay that bill.
yeah.
I love it. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion for the extension of real and personal property tax payment to a February 28th, 2025 deadline.
Support.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Moving on to discussion items, we have none tonight. Mayor, council comments. Ricky, do you have any comments tonight?
I just wish everybody a happy holiday.
Oh, that's very, very nice of you, Ricky. Thank you. Mr. Kramer,
Yeah, no, thank you.
Mr. Menegini.
I was not in town for the December 6th Christmas in Norway festivities. I heard nothing but positives about it. I've been hearing repeated positives just as early as this morning, how great Main Street looks. That the December 6th activity and how it's growing. I saw all the Facebook, photos from all over the place.
Yeah.
It's neat, and it doesn't happen by accident. It happens with hard work and intentionality. I just want to say thanks for all those people who helped coordinate that.
Yeah, a shout out to everyone that participated in all the school too. I mean, a lot of participation from the kids, right up to high school. It was excellent to see. Very, very happy. I thought it was a big success. I know Candy felt the same way. So we'll just keep working on it every year and make it even a better day.
I'm making a mental note, just because of scheduling, our high school athletic teams were able to participate.
Yes.
So I'm making a mental note right now. I know as Mr. Tinty makes those schedules oftentimes a year in advance.
Awesome.
Something to look at.
Yeah.
That first Friday. Let's
Right.
see if we can
Can
work
we
some
immerse
magic
it? Yeah,
there.
exactly. Great idea. Same here. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year all. You won't see our shiny faces in the council chamber until after the holidays. Want to thank the staff here at the city for a great year in 2024. We overcame a lot of hurdles, a lot of challenges, and I think we came out better, stronger on the other side. So I look forward to a real good 2025. Dan, anything to add?
I'd just like to kind of say what Rika said about the Christmas in Norway and the Santa Parade. They did add a lot of extra events this year, and I think it went extremely well. We had a big turnout, and we look forward to continuing that into next year and continue to grow that. Just as a note to people out there, City Hall will be closed on Christmas Eve and Christmas. That is Tuesday and Wednesday next week, and then New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, the 31st and 1st. So that's all.
Thank you. Grant?
Briefly, current Mayor Marraro, echoing Mr. Menegini's comments and the council's comments as well. On behalf of, on the flip side, I guess, as not a council member, but as a taxpayer and a member of this community, I wanted to thank City Council, the staff members, the folks we work with here at City Hall, and the government employees for all their hard work for the year. Downtown looks phenomenal, and it's a testament to the city prioritizing our downtown and making it look festive, making it and showing our pride in our downtown. It adds that Christmas cheer, and it really stands out, I think. The event that was taking place with the support of council and the support of the volunteers was really kind of echoes the nature of our community, and public services in the background. With you guys volunteering to serve and be elected and be on this council, and the public service of those volunteers. Without volunteers, it's always a common sentiment from everybody on this council. Volunteers are the backbone of our community along with our school. And I wanted to thank, and specifically echoing, I think, Councilman Kramer's comments, Allison Kelchek and Jason Morgan. We lost two
Big time
folks that were volunteers for years with this group. Mr. Morgan, under his guidance, has built about 28 miles of mountain bike trails in our community. He was one of the ones that spearheaded this with the Dickinson Trail Network. But Mr. Morgan really was the backbone, and it was his passion. So his volunteering is very helpful. And I know he's not going anywhere, but I wanted to point that out. And I've had the pleasure of working with him, and also with Ms. Kelchek. Allison has worked closely with this council, previous city manager, and this community, serving this community and providing extensive guidance on a number of very complicated issues. She was really an asset and is an asset to this community. Her background and her willingness to really tackle difficult issues that we've faced as a community, both when we've looked at ordinances, when we work through the marijuana licensing issues, her guidance and her calm demeanor and insightful input was very much appreciated by myself and everybody that's always worked with her. So I just wanted to kind of go maybe a bit overboard, but thanking those two because those are the kind of folks that we appreciate and helping out. And without those volunteers, everybody's job becomes a lot more harder. So.
Yeah, thanks, Grant, for that.
And also Merry Christmas, because last time I didn't say Happy Thanksgiving, so Merry Christmas to everybody within the community.
Yeah, we got a lot of complaints on that too, by the way, so. Yeah, back to Allison for a minute, just, she's even worked on, you know, updating the master plan. I mean, she's just, she's a working fool, so we'll miss you. Trish? Kevin?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And our next board meeting is
The 8th.
the 8th.
Yes, January
It's
8th.
gonna be the first Wednesday was a holiday. So
Yeah.
it's the following week, the 8th, I believe.
Yeah, the first, actually. I think New Year's Day is Wednesday, so it'll be the following Wednesday. Okay, well, with that, if there's nothing else, I motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Support.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.